All right, do you want to lose weight and start exercising, but you have no idea where to begin? I get it. It can be overwhelming, and it's not just the physical challenge you have to deal with, but much more the mental barriers you have to break. So in this video, we break down exercising and we talk about what it actually is, why you should do it, and some really good tips and tricks to get you started properly. All right, let's get started. I can tell you something up front. You're never too old to get started, and the only thing that is holding you back is yourself. Your own mind is what causes the biggest roadblocks, not your physical limitations, not the time you not have, not the motivation that lasts for 2 days and turns into disbelief and self-doubt. When you understand that all you have to do is change the way you think, that is a game changer. And I try my best to give you everything you need to know in this guide. Okay, so let's quickly define exercising and what it actually means. In simple terms, exercise is any movement that works your body at a greater intensity than your usual level of daily activity. So, if you walk faster than you usually do, theoretically, that's exercising. And not just theoretically, it is exercising. In fact, it is even an Olympic discipline. So, there you got it. It's pretty straightforward. Alright, so now you know what exercise is, but why should you do it? Look, exercising is one of the best things you can do for yourself. It is one of those key life-changing habits. I'm sure you want to see your children grow up, and maybe even you want to have a beer with your grandkids when they are old enough. And to do that, you have to take care of yourself. And the best way to do that is to eat healthy and to exercise and to sleep properly, of course. So exercise improves your overall health and it supports your weight loss if you eat accordingly. It will boost your metabolism and it increases your testosterone levels. It will help you to sleep better. And it even improves your sex life, so you're probably going to last much longer. It also helps to prevent and supports treatment for multiple physical and mental diseases such as depression, cancer, diabetes and Alzheimer's. And it even slows down the aging process. So exercise is literally the magic pill. But the kind of they haven't tried on humans yet because it has too many side effects. It is uncomfortable, it causes severe muscle pain. It lets you break out in sweat, accelerates your heart rate to a point where you think it's going to jump out of your chest and maybe even stop. And you start gasping for air while your entire body is shaking out of exhaustion. And it sounds like exercising really sucks, right? And yes, sometimes it does, but it sounds worse than it is. And once you start to reap the benefits, you understand why so many people are doing it anyway. Alright, so exercise consistently will change your life for the better, I can guarantee you that. While there are many ways to get fit, they're usually categorized into 4 types, which is cardio, resistance, flexibility and balance. And cardio training is anything that raises your heart rate and breathing rates. It helps to improve your function of your heart, lungs and circulatory system. And imagine your body has 2 engines and both engines are always active, but depending on the duration and intensity of your workout, one will work harder than the other. So the first engine is aerobic, which is used for lower intensity exercises and requires oxygen to run. Things like steady state cardio and marathon are just some examples. And the second one is anaerobic. And this one breaks down glucose for energy and doesn't need oxygen. And generally these activities are much shorter but higher in intensity, things like HIIT workout and circuit training, for example. Alright, so the next one is strength or resistance training, and which is the use of resistance to increase a muscular contraction. And that builds strength, anaerobic endurance, and increases the size of your skeletal muscles. The resistance can be your own body weight, resistance bands or machines, and free weights in the gym. And it is usually associated with the increase in muscle mass. But being strong doesn't mean you have to be big. In combination with cardio, you will shred down and burn fat while building lean muscle and strength. And the third one is flexibility training, and this helps to increase the range of motion of the joint and the ability of the joint move past a certain point. Being flexible also lowers the risk of injuries during your workouts. And it increases the chance of you being able to wipe your own ass when you're 90 years old. So the last one is balance training. And balance training is anything that involves exercises that strengthen the muscles that help to keep you upright, like your legs and your core, for example. These kinds of exercises can improve stability and they also help to prevent falls. You need a good balance to do just about everything in life, and including walking, getting out of a chair, and even tying your shoes. So, what should you focus on? Ideally, you want to do a bit of everything, and that is much easier done than you think. Most exercises incorporate at least 2 or more types. So yoga, as an example, will improve your balance, strength and flexibility. A HIIT workout will improve strength and cardio. Doing certain static stretches will increase flexibility and strength. Lifting weights can either build muscle, increase flexibility, or improve your cardio. But that is dependent on your reps, sets and rest ratios. But before you get started, you should consider why you're not working out already. So it's called work out for a reason, because it's hard work. And knowing what is holding you back can be a good start. While practical concerns like a busy schedule or poor health can make exercise more challenging, but the biggest barriers are mental. And there are millions of excuses for why someone is not working out. And here are my top 5 excuses debunked in one sentence. I don't have time. No, you do, it's just not your priority. I'm always too tired. Because you're not exercising and you aren't fit. I'm a full-time parent. Perfect. There's your reason. You owe it to your kids. Take care of yourself so you can take care of them. And be around for as long as possible. And I know that was more than one sentence, but just take it, okay? Alright, gyms are too expensive. Okay, then work out at home or in the park. I think that's much better anyway. I'm too unfit and I can't even do one push-up. Well, I think then it's just about time to get started. Next one is I'm too old to get started. And I tell you, you're never too old to improve your health. Often we see exercise as time we lose on other things, but the reality is that it will gain years in the long run. We can keep going like that, but I'm sure you get the point. There is no valid excuse not to work out. When I was in my 20s, I paid a gym membership for about 4 years, and I probably showed up like 3 times in that time frame. And each time I rewarded myself with a kebab that probably had 3 times the calories I burned. If I burned anything at all, because mainly I looked at girls and blocked the equipment for others. So yes, I did show up. But was it worth it? Absolutely not. I did learn a lesson or two though. First, money is not my motivator. Simply paying for something did not help me to actually pursue my intention. And simply showing up is not enough to make a difference. You have to do it intentionally. At that time, it was certainly not my priority. I didn't have a good enough reason to work out. I much rather watched TV, smoked weed, played video games, and just smashed fast food. And that was my priority at the time. I didn't know that the importance and benefits of working out back then. But I do now. And that's why I want to encourage as many people as possible to do the same. The next thing is you have to find your why. What is your primary motivation? What is your why? In case you don't know what I mean by finding your why, so there is a reason you want to get fit. And as deeper and as more emotional that reason is, the more likely you're going to stick to your exercising. Did you get some alarming test results from your doctor that you want to change? Or are you on a mission to lose 20 pounds? Is your goal to gain muscle and increase your energy levels? Do you just want to look good naked? Are you fed up seeing yourself naked in the mirror? Are you doing this because you want to set a good example for your children and inspire them to grow up healthy and happy? Do you run out of gas within 5 minutes when playing with your kids? Or you can't even walk up a set of stairs without taking a rest halfway up? Finding your why is the single most important thing if you want to achieve your goals. Your why is what helps you to push through the obstacles that you will face along the way. And trust me, they will come. If you don't know why you're doing something, then why doing it in the first place? And here's my why. I want to be a role model for my children. I want to inspire them to live an active and healthy life. I want them to make wise food choices, not because I tell them to, but because they learn it that way. I have to live what I preach, right? And also when I'm in my 40s, 50s and 60s, I want to be fit, strong and healthy. And I never want to tell my children that I can't do something because my body is holding me back. I want to see them getting married and I want to meet my grandchildren and be fit enough to play with them too. I want to be that kind of father that other guys look up to and use as an inspiration. And I want to be able to wipe my own ass when I'm 90 years old. So every time I feel like eating crappy food or skipping a workout, I bring back those emotions that I connected with my why. I remind myself, why am I doing this? Then I tell myself, you know what? Those 20 minutes now will make all the difference. And trust me, they do. Okay, so when you're in your 40s and above, you're new to exercising, make sure to get a clearance from your doctor. While exercising will let you live a healthier and happier life, it does come with some risks. If you have a heart problem or high blood pressure, you're not aware of it, you could face some serious trouble. While that might sound scary, in most cases that is not a reason not to work out. But knowing about any conditions can help you to take the right precautions and give you an idea of what kind of exercises to avoid and what to focus on primarily. Next one is just make a plan and set realistic goals. Setting goals and milestones along the way will give you an indication if you're heading in the right direction. Let's say you want to lose 30 kilos within a year. That can be pretty intimidating. This is a lot of weight to lose, and if you only focus on the big picture, it is easy to lose focus. The process will take too long to stay motivated, but if you break that goal down into smaller milestones, it is easier to see results and stay motivated. Instead of focusing on the whole 30 kilos, aim for 5 kilos in the next 2 months. And that's possible, you can do that. Then make a plan on how to achieve that. Skip breakfast 3 days per week and try intermittent fasting. Drink only water with your meals, or exercise 10 minutes every single day. And those are just some examples. Do something you can maintain, and that will give you an action plan to follow, and you stay motivated as you hit one goal after the other. Okay, so if you want to be successful with exercising and you want to reach your fitness goals, you have to make it a habit. They say it takes 21 days to create a habit. And that is approximately how long it takes to change and reprogram your subconscious mind. I do think it will take a little longer though, but it doesn't really matter because it's a lifelong journey anyway. It's all about gaining momentum. To effectively make a change, it has to be consistent. The best way to do something consistently is to make it a habit. Otherwise, you need a lot of willpower and discipline, but if your subconscious has gotten into the habit of exercising, it will be almost harder not to do. Important is also that you find exercises you enjoy doing. I know that can be harder than it sounds. Lots of people just purely hate exercising. Don't think that you have to join a gym to get fit. You can find some great home workouts on YouTube or on Google. Start exercising at home is a great way to gain some confidence and get comfortable with some basic exercises. How much exercise should you do? I think that depends. The recommended guideline is somewhere between 120 to 150 minutes per week, and that is about 3 to 5 times for 30 minutes. But what if you don't have the time to get in 30 minutes per day? There's a simple answer. Do less. In the end, what really matters is that you do something. Even 5 minutes per day is better than nothing. If that is all you can invest, then that is a great start. Remember, it has to fit in your life. It has to be sustainable. It doesn't matter how slow you go, you will still let everyone on the couch. The main goal when you start exercising is to be consistent. Everything else will start taking care of itself. Just always push yourself. There is a simple rule to that. Consistency plus intensity equals result. But make sure to get enough rest. Resting and recovery are as important as the actual workout. And the biggest mistake you can make at the beginning is to work out like a maniac. That usually results in getting injured or being so sore that you want to quit. And you probably will as well. So I said again, consistency is the key. Alright, so here are a few exercise tips for beginners. Always make sure to warm up, especially when you're getting older. Do not skip the warm-up, I can't stress it enough, or you will eventually face some serious trouble. Simply start your workout with some aerobic exercises like arm swings or leg kicks or walking lunges. Or do the same exercises you intend to do in a less demanding way. And of course, cool down is equally as important. Just take 5 minutes after each workout to bring your heart rate back down. It helps to restore normal blood circulation and breathing patterns as well. And it even reduces the chance of being sore for the next few days. And of course, listen to your body. You know yourself better than anyone else. If you feel you need a rest, take it. If you feel any aches or pains, stop and give your body time to recover. The worst thing that can happen when you're building an exercise habit is to get injured and be out for a couple of weeks. The next one is focus on the most bang for your buck exercises. There are certain exercises that are more effective than others. You want to do mainly compound exercises. And these are exercises that incorporate multiple joints and muscle groups. Doing a bench press, for example, will work more muscles than doing a triceps extension. Alright, and expect to fail. You will have days where you planned on exercising but you end up skipping it for whatever reason. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't let a little misstep be the end of your journey. Don't aim for perfection, aim for consistency and be ready for week 3. Week 3 is usually the hardest one. It's like the 7th year in marriage. That's when most people fail, because motivation gets you through the first couple of weeks, but eventually You're going to hit an obstacle. You feel sore, you feel unmotivated, and you doubt yourself. You might not even see any progress at this time. And something you might not be so aware of is you have to sleep more. And ideally you want to get around 7 hours of quality sleep. And that's probably nothing new to you, but if you want to see results for the effort you put into your workouts, then you have to get a quality sleep. And research has shown that people who train regularly but don't sleep enough don't build muscle or lose fat as quickly as people who get a good rest. The bottom line is to start slowly. Find your why and make it a habit. Start exercising can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. Yes, you do have to push yourself, but you can make it fun. And remember, you will not be perfect, and that is okay. It's normal. Missing a workout doesn't mean you lost all progress forever. It means that something else was more important on that day. It is a journey, not a destination. Knowledge is great, but it also is a burden. So don't spend too much time to research, reading and exploring rather than actually doing the exercise. It is easy to get caught up in trying to find the perfect program, the perfect workout or the perfect diet. But perfect doesn't exist. Aim for good enough. So what actions will you take to get started with exercising? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you get some value out of this video. If so, then make sure to hit that like button. I appreciate your feedback and it really helps out the channel as well. Also, share the video with anyone that might benefit from it. If you want more content like this, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel because being fit doesn't have to be complicated. And before you go, make sure to check out the Exercise Habit Blueprint, which is a step-by-step system that helps you to build an exercise habit that is almost impossible to break. And you can check that out in the descriptions below. Do that now, and I'll see you in the next video. Arrivederci.